None but Allah can do this. You know, the feet walking, this is through Allah's power and Allah's hukum, that Allah's allowing His feet to walk. And every single joint, every single bone in our body that's moving and working, these are through the power and hukum of Allah. Allah's allowing these things to happen. We cannot do this of our own control. You know, the heart beating, you know, even the 1/4 of a heartbeat, we cannot repay back to Allah. You know, if the valve doesn't work correctly, what happens? People get an irregular heartbeat, or they get some type of, they can get a mini heart attack, and they have to take so many different types of medicine just to make this heart work. Do we tell our heart to beat? No, this is Allah doing this. This is La ilaha illallah. This is our belief that Allah is doing this. You know, the sun is shining. Who's making the sun shine? You know, if the gas bill's not being paid, the gas is gone, there's no gas in the house. You know, who's refueling the sun? You know, when there was no, even a little ember of fire, Allah created the sun. When there was a drop of water, Allah created the oceans. You know, when there was no pebbles, Allah created the mountains. You know, you look at the clouds. There's such clouds that hold 300 million tons of water. You know, there's one cloud, Nimbus, 300 million tons of water it holds. You know, if you had a whole lorry taking water from one place to another, and let's say it got destroyed, all that water would cause utter destruction. And look what Allah's doing, He's taking all this water, 300 million tons of water, He's taken to another place, and when He disperses the water comes down with mercy. Every single drop is coming out like 1-2 miles per hour, very soft. It's not coming down with utter destruction, destroying wherever it goes. So much water. But Allah showing us His system, the whole nizam. It's an amazing system. You look at even a cow, it eats green grass. It drinks translucent water, transparent water. And then Allah's making in this cow so many systems to get rid of all the toxins and then create beautiful white milk. This is from Allah's qudrat. Allah showing us He's doing this. This is La ilaha illallah. You know, you get two ingredients. You get 2 ingredients. You give these 2 ingredients to a chef and you say, make me a dish. He'll laugh at you. You say to him, give him soil and water and say, make me a dish. They'll laugh at you, go, this person's crazy. But Allah with soil and water, He's making mangoes, apples, pineapples, all these different types of millions and billions of vegetation that everyone is benefiting from. This is our understanding of La ilaha illallah. Allah is doing all this. And such fruit Allah gives you. You know, if you eat the dunyabi type food, let's say a chocolate bar or something, you take the wrapper off, you throw the wrapper, the wrapper creates rubbish. It's a toxin. But when you eat like a watermelon, you take the wrapping off, and that wrapping is like fertilizer for the next plant. How amazing Allah designed the banana peel, they make fertilizer out of it. It helps make compost for the next plants. So Allah showing us His whole system of making food and sustenance. This is La ilaha illallah. This is our understanding of La ilaha illallah. You look at the Sahaba, how they took direct from Allah with this La ilaha illallah. You know, you hear such Sahaba like Suraka bin Malik radiya anhu. They got to such a state that they thought that he passed away. They thought he passed away. They got his coffin and everything ready. They made a hole in the ground, saying that this person's this Sahabi's probably passed away. To such an extent that he woke up out of this coma, this death-like coma, and he goes, "What is all this?" So they said to him, "Before you died, before you passed away," he had so much yaqeen in the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, "You know, the bangles of Kisra are going to be yours." That even though he was in such a state of like the thought that he died, from this they saw that he's in a situation that they thought he died. But he had yaqeen that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "One day I'll get the bangles of Kisra." He goes, "The angel of death won't dare come to me." He wasn't even scared of the angel of death, knowing that the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam haven't been fulfilled yet. To such an extent, the volcanoes erupting, And Umar who goes to the masjid, he sees Tamim Medari, he sends him to sort the volcano out. The volcano's coming out, all the fire's coming out. Tamim Medari puts the volcano lava back into the volcano, puts a rock on top of it, and he tells the volcano never to do this again. What type of yaqeen did that have? They believed in Allah. They had true belief in Allah. You hear so many stories of the Sahaba, so much torture they went through, so much hardships they went through, but they never rejected the kalima. They never again went against La ilaha illallah. You know, you hear like Bilal anhu, they're whipping him. Two big Qurayshi people, they're whipping him, they're getting tired. They're putting stone on top of him as they're getting tired. And he's still saying, Ahad, 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 one Allah. What type of iman did he have? That even though through this pain, he was still carrying on believing in Allah. You hear about the story about the two young Sahaba, Mu'adh bin Arfa and Mu'adh bin Amr bin Jamuh. They were in between them was Abdurrahman bin Auf. And he's thinking, you know, I wish I had two big Sahaba next to me. And had his two little children. And they were tugging on his clothes saying, where is this Abu Jahl? We want to deal with him, we want to sort him out. To such an extent, in the middle of the battle, Abdurrahman bin Auf points out Abu Jahl. To such an extent, these two little Sahaba dart towards Abu Jahl, and one of them strikes the horse, and one of them strikes Abu Jahl. To such an extent, in this interaction, one of the Mu'adh's arm gets cut. To such an extent, his arm is held together with the skin, and he's carrying on attacking the enemy. To such an extent, his arm is moving around so much that he's getting in the way. That what he does is he puts the arm under his feet, takes the arm off, carries on attacking the enemy. Imagine these Sahaba in the Battle of Uhud. Rasulullah such a situation happened, that such confusion happened that the non-Muslims got a chance. They went through the back and they were attacking from the back. Such confusion, Sahaba who got that confused, they started to attack each other. They didn't know what's happening. To such an extent, with Rasulullah there was only like 10, 11 Ansar with Rasulullah, and the non-Muslims, the kuffar, they thought they had an opportunity to kill the Rasulullah. To such an extent they started shooting arrows. And then Talha, he shields Rasulullah and he takes more than 80 arrows. And whilst in the state of 80 arrows in his body, he takes Rasulullah to safety. What type of iman did they have? How are they able to accomplish these feats of these amazing, like practically inhuman feats? Like you wouldn't even think were possible. And when you think about it, look, better than who being whipped, Mu'adh, the two Mu'adhs, one arm being chopped off, carrying on fighting, and Talha taking arrows. How did they do this? Because they had real belief. They believed in Allah. They had belief in Rasulullah. And because of this, because they had such an iman, no pain of this world would affect them. Nothing would be a true hardship for them. This is what true iman is. This is why people go out in the path of Allah, to build this iman, to believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. More you talk about Allah, more you talk about iman, more your iman becomes strengthened. And you know, this is mentioned, so many times it's mentioned in books of hadith. And you know, when the greatness of Allah is talked about, iman increases. And this is why it's very important. We need to talk about these things. We need to talk about the Sahaba. You know, there was one thing that was mentioned in Hadith Sahaba, that in the Battle of Hunayn, Rasulullah was going and they were trying to ambush Rasulullah, and the Ansar came. He started calling out the Ansar from left and right. The Ansar came and they defeated the enemy. And then what happened was Rasulullah started giving out the ghanima, the booty, and was giving out the booty to the Muhajir. He's giving out to the Muhajir. So the Ansar are watching this. Some young Ansar are saying, look, he's we defeated the enemy, and Rasulullah was giving it to the Muhajir, and it wasn't little, it was like hundreds and thousands of camels and goats, lot of ghanima. So what happened was this rumor came to Rasulullah, so we got the Ansar together, and they said their concerns, and Rasulullah told them that when he had no one, the Ansar helped him. When he was in a position where he had no aid, no nusra, the Ansar were the ones that aided him and they gave him nusra. And he said to them, he started giving them da'wah as well. He goes, when you were misguided, through me, Allah gave you guidance. When you had no risk or you didn't have provision, through Islam you attained provision. And like this, he was giving them da'wah. And when Rasulullah was talking, he started to cry. And then the Ansar started to cry. To such an extent, Rasulullah starts telling them, to such an extent, that if there was a valley and all the other people were in one valley and the Ansar were going in another valley, he'll go with the Ansar. So Rasulullah, he understood this, this aspect of giving tawheed, bringing people together, love and muhabbat, to such an extent that the Ansar, through this incident, they became happy. And the Sahaba, they truly loved Rasulullah, they truly loved Allah. We see the feats of pain that they went through. They didn't complain. They didn't say, look, this happened to me because of you, Rasulullah. This happened to me because of this. This happened to me because of the kalima. This happened to me because of this and this. But we see, they went through it. And nowadays you see like some people, a little bit of skin gets ripped or teared near the finger and they're like in pain, a toothache. Then have to straight away, they can't sleep, they have to go to the dentist straight away. But we see that the Sahaba, they went through so many different types of hardships. In Rasulullah's house, it was said that they would eat just 2 black things. And it was said it was like water and just a bit of dates. Simple things. For such a long time, long periods used to go, that they never used to have a light going on in their house. Just imagine what they went through. So as Muslims, we need to understand this. We need to understand Iman and come unto Iman. This kalima, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is the means of our success. In this life, in the akhirah, if all the things of this world were put in front of a mu'min, a Muslim, and they said, we'll give you all these things, but before you die, reject Iman. Would any mu'min do this? Would any Muslim do this? How great is your Iman then? It's more valuable than all the things of this world. It comes in the hadith that, if you put La ilaha illallah on one pan of a scale and you put the 7 heavens and the 7 earths on the other pan of a scale, this La ilaha illallah will outweigh it. It comes in another hadith that, if there was 99 registers of sins and one register was as far as the eye can see, that this La ilaha illallah will outweigh all these sins. It comes to such an extent that, if those 2 people that their whole lives they sinned and they came in front of Allah, and Allah will ask them if there's any, do you have any excuses? Is there any reasons why this has been said or that's happened to such an extent? So the first person, both these people will say, no, these are our sins. You've committed these sins. So he'll tell both of them to go towards Jahannam. So one person, he will run towards Jahannam. So Allah will call him back. Because why did you run towards Jahannam? So this person will say, my whole life I've been breaking the commandments of Allah. My whole life I've been going against the one that's created me. Now you've commanded me to do something. I wanted to do it to the best of my ability. To such an extent, because of this, Allah will forgive me. Then the next person will come, Allah will tell him to go towards Jahannam. And this person, he'll walk very slowly. He'll be walking very slowly. And every so often, he'll be turning around and looking, carry on walking very slowly, and then he'll turn around and carry on looking. So then Allah will pull him back. So why are you doing this? Why keep on turning around? Because even though I've done such and such sins, and I've done all these different times, and I've broken all these things that you've told me to do, I've broken so many things, so many sins I've committed. I've heard about your mercy. And even me, I was thinking, even me, you'll forgive. So I was waiting for you to forgive me. Every time I'm turning around thinking, even me, you'll forgive. To such an extent, even this person, Allah says, you heard about my forgiveness, I forgive you as well, you go to Jannah as well. So this is Allah. Allah loves us. Allah loves us 70 times more than a mother's love. And it comes so many times Allah is mentioning how much He loves us. He mentions, it comes in Quran, it's like, oh son of Adam, I love you. Why don't you love me? As Muslims, we should understand this. We should tell the Muslims that Allah loves you. Why are you turning back to Allah? When we're doing salah and this is a conversation with Allah. We're talking with Allah. When we're reciting Quran, Allah is replying to our Quran. Allah becomes so happy. He loves us 70 times more than a mother's love. And what is the height of a mother's love? When a child is born, when she holds the child for the first time, she looks at this child and she says, this child, I'm going to give this child food. When he cries, I'm going to change his nappies. I'm going to do all these things for this child. Everything I'm going to do. Next 15 plus years, I'm going to be doing this child's khidmah. Just imagine how much this mother loves this child. And Allah loves you 70 times more than a mother's love. So this work of da'wah is the responsibility of the ummah of Rasulullah, because after Rasulullah there's no more prophets. We have to do this work. And what is the work of Rasulullah? What is the work of da'wah? The work of da'wah is calling people to Allah, connecting the hearts to Allah, connecting the hearts, bringing the people back onto Iman, back onto belief. And how great a work is this? We look at so many times, so many incidents of people going away, and the worst of people, when they come back to Deen, they become the best of people. You look at Umar, before Islam, he was the worst of people. He had the intention in his heart and mind to kill Rasulullah. Just imagine this action, this thought to go through someone's head. You'll say, if someone said something like this, you say he's the worst of people. Just imagine. And through the barakat of his sister's house, through the effort that was taking place in her house, a type of mustarak talim that was taking place in her house, she was teaching and learning Quran. He went into this house, not being told that his sisters accepted Islam. He got so angry. He went to the house, that house where the rahmat of this talim was taking place, was the means of his heart becoming revolutionized. From a heart that hated Rasulullah, that wanted to kill Rasulullah, Rasulullah became the most beloved to this person. To such an extent, Rasulullah would say, if there would be another prophet, it would be Umar. How great a work this work is. Just imagine how much reward his sister is going to get. She was the means of Umar who accepting Islam and becoming the second Khalifa of Islam. Just imagine. So this is this work of da'wah.